Hello friends, welcome. So far we have created this project. We display all the movies we get from the API and we filter them here. Everything was work correctly, but if we go in the app.js, all the code is inside this project, so inside the app.js. And now we are going to work with components because React is built for that, create small components and reuse them whenever we need. I'm going to create a component for the display all the movies, so to display a list of movies, and maybe create another component for this input and maybe another component for a single movie. So we are going to see. But right now, let's go and create a component for displaying a list of movies we have. And if you go to the React JS, you can go there and read more about components. And also here you can see components and props, how we can get movies from a parent component to the child component. Let's go and create the component inside the source folder. Here I'm going to create one more and I'm going to name it components like this. It's not necessary, but I think this is the better way to create components, and inside here to create all the components we need. Also, I'm going to create another folder and I'm going to name it movie list. And inside this movie list, I'm going to create the file name movie list.jsx. Now in here, I'm going to create the component. And first, I'm going to create a class components. And after, when we finish with class components and with the project, I'm going to convert all the class components in the function components, just to see you can understand both the function components and also the class components. So to create the class components, we need to import the component from React. So let's come here and say import component from React. Okay. After that, we need to create a class with name, and I'm going to name it movie list. And we need to extend the component. Here now we need to render. Okay. And let's close also this render, and we need now to call the return. So what we are going to render in our browser. So let's say return, and let's display only one div with movie list component. I'm going to say movie list component. Before we save, we need to export this movie list because we are going to use in other files. So let's say export default and the name, which is movie list. Okay, save now this one, and let's go in the app.js and use this component. So here first we need to import that. So let's say import the name, which is movie list, and we need to import from the components movie list folder and also the name, which is movie list. It's not necessary to add the .jsx here. And let's use that movie list component now inside our app.js. So down there, when we return, before the render, I'm going to add that. So movie list, and let's close that, save. Now you need to learn that. You need to learn that all components must be capitalized. So here we see we have M capital and also the L with capital, because the React need to know if that is component or maybe is HTML code. Okay. So with that, now if I save and if we navigate in the browser, here it is. You can see the movie list component is here. So our component we have created. And if I make a change here, save, yeah, here it is. Now in this component, I want to get the movies and display them as we have here. How we can get the movies from the parent component, from the app.js, because here we get all the movies and we filter the movies here. Now I want to copy this code and use that in this one. And after we have the render the movies list, we can use that component inside here instead of all the things. And the idea is to have that list of movies here, because maybe we have another page to display the list of movies and we can just import the movie list and use them in another page. Okay. So to get a component, movies. So let's go to the React.js.org, what I said before, go to the components and props, and here it is an example. With function components, we need to accept the props here. With the class components, we have this, which mean the class, and we have the special props, which is coming from with this. So these props and what we added in the component. So here we have an example with a welcome, and we add this prop, which is name, and here is we have the string, but we can have what we want. So let's go in our project and let's add in our component down there when we render, let's add a title, for example, and let's say a string here, let's say movie list title. And if I save this one, now here we are in the app.js, the movie list, we can get that. So let's display here the prop by saying this, because we are in the class components, this prop title. If I save and go to the browser, here we have the movie list title, what we put inside this prop. And also if I remove this and add an array, so for example, movie 1 and movie 2, movie 1, and let's add something like this, and save. Come here, you can see movie 1, movie 2, and movie 3. And of course, if I inspect elements, go to the components here, you can say in the movie list now, we have the title, which has an array with 3 elements, movie 1, movie 2, and movie 3. Okay. Now we don't need the title, but we need the movies. Okay, so let's say movies here, and I'm going to add the movies we need to display. And we need to display the filtered movies, not the movies we get from the state here, because we need also to filter them. So we need filtered movies, and let's say here filtered movies and save. Now let's go, but before we go there, let's copy now this, because we are going to do the same thing. So let's copy when we say render movies here, copy that and paste it inside when we return. Paste that in, but instead of filtered movies, because we don't have filtered movies, we named the props movies, because we have many movies. We named movies here, the prop. So we can say this dot props dot movies like this. And if I save, and you can see now we have double the movie list because we display also in here with a component, with a child component, and when we render that, we display down there. So right now, if I cut this one and replace this now, remove what we have here and paste that movie list, save, go back, refresh, let's remove that and let's see if it works perfectly. So we have filtered movies working, let's say Doctor. Okay, everything works correctly, and we created the movie list component here, and we used that in the app.js here in the render. And we understand how we can add props from the parent component and use them in the child component. Okay friends, that's it about this video. I hope you understand, and if you like a content like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like the video. See you in the next one. All the best.